A steady stream of Assyrian immigrants have come to the Chicagoland area for several decades, and some Assyrians are concerned about passing on their culture to future generations. Organizations like the Assyrian Universal Alliance Foundation work to prevent the loss of Assyrian culture in the United States. One way they do this is by compiling videos of what life is like in the Middle East.
What we do here is that before fading totally away of those Assyrians from the Middle East, we started to help the people that are making films, documentaries about those and how they lived and how they dances and weddings and funerals and whatever.
The Assyrian Universal Alliance Foundation is also home to one of the largest public Assyrian libraries in the country, the Ashurbanipal Library.
So what the Assyrians here in the foundation are trying to do is to do the same as other people are doing, to keep our archives here, to keep our history here, making sure that our students are coming. If they want to write theses about their history, they can do it.
In learning about their heritage, Father George hopes to instill a sense of pride in each young Assyrian.
A lot of organizations here that everyone in every one of these organizations tried to scream loud, "We are Assyrian." We try to instill that pride and that to motivate new generation to always keep that tie, and also to believe that they have, in their genes that tendency to excel in life and do great things. So, we motivate our youth with these languages, with these, reminding them of who they are. And I think, being proud of our history that's what kept us survive for all these years.
Still, both Father George and Awia mentioned much of the work in passing on Assyrian traditions is done in the home. Regardless, Awia felt that knowing English was essential.
I had no problem with my kids if they wanted to speak English, because I know in the long run it's the English language that's going to prevail for these kids. They know Assyrian. We took them to church and started, but I never wanted this dualism to be a problem for them. So I didn't care much if they wanted to learn.
Father George pointed to his two daughters. The older has embraced Assyrian culture, while the younger sees it as less refined than mainstream American culture.
It depends on the child also. Like my oldest daughter, she's 15, and she's more, accepting that. And my youngest, she's, very more Americanized. She makes fun here and there. It's part of trying to see that she's more advanced. American culture is more advanced than Assyrian culture. In one family, two girls, and each one has different perspective.
Awia still believes the younger generation is excited to learn about their heritage.
With the coming generation of the Assyrians, the young people, they are much more open-minded, they're much more into intellectual conversations, and they understand history probably better than the old generations with new discoveries and all that. So I think it's going from good to very good.
Yet, several Assyrians fear for their culture.
Our old culture in Middle East is fading away. What you see of today, ISIS, what is doing there, just 2 days ago, it happened that they raided several villages in Syria. It's happening not only for our physical existence in those countries, but that fades away all the culture. Let's say if the villages are emptied, then how can I teach my children and my grandchildren, how can I teach that how Assyrians lived in those countries?
It brought us more together. We stand up against this together. We do, we raise our voice together. We go to the United Nations. We go to rally in Chicago together. Second of all, it puts a lot of burden on us, a lot of financial burden, emotional burden on the community in general.
Homer believes the Assyrian culture needs support to survive.
We will lose our basic culture if somebody doesn't help us to keep alive and to do our job here. So in that case, we ask governments like America here to do something for us, to help us.